All right. All right, I was muted. Can you guys hear me now? Let me know. Let me know in the chat. Then we'll do the. All right, I was muted. Can you guys hear me now? Okay, hold on. I'm getting some feedbacks. Apologies here. This is new software. Okay, I think we should be all good. No echo, no feedback. We are Gucci. All right, let's do it again. So first, or maybe not. Okay. Can you guys hear me now? Is there a feedback? I don't know if it's the pump stream that's giving feedback. I'm not hearing it, but I guess maybe there's a. Okay, all right. Just give us 1 minute. All right, let's see if this works. Yes, let's go. Astrobot Society. Hope you're doing well. Let me know if the audio is better now. It looks like it was an issue with the streaming software, but no feedback. It seems like we are good to go. Let's talk about TM Live on Pump.fun. Yes, TM Live on Pump.fun. We had quite the start, quite a surprise. Thanks for everybody who helped us launch the TM Live stream and token. A little dump, but anyway, this is an impromptu Sunday night live stream. Basically, old school AMA, ask me anything. So if you guys have any crypto questions, let me know. We'll go through them. We'll go for maybe about half an hour to maybe even an hour. I do have to have dinner and then hit the hay. No feedback. Yes, we are Gucci. Okay, so whatever questions you guys have, just post in the chat. I'm getting questions from both Restream, which shows all the questions in the chat to kind of show you guys where this is coming from. We got everybody across everywhere. So YouTube, Kick, X. I don't believe it gets questions from Telegram, and it does not get from Pump.fun. All right, but anyway, let's actually begin with a question here I see from Pump.fun. Are you going to be live streaming every day? Not every day, but any chance we get. This is the third time in about a week, because we launched this, Tuesday maybe? Did Tuesday, I think Wednesday. This is the third stream in less than a week. We'll try to do more streams. Definitely trying to work on the quality. As you guys can see, we had to switch. The other platform was not working for us. While it's good for some other stuff, in terms of this, we've gone back to Restream, which is great. They made a lot of different changes. Are you going to do any buybacks with the fees? Yes. For those of you who actually noticed, we did a buyback after the end of the last stream. So the pretty cool thing about Pump.fun, if I pull up here, just give me 1 second. I gotta share my screen. The cool thing about Pump.fun, it shows you when the dev buys back the token. So this is kind of like Inception. Let me mute this so we don't get feedback. Yeah, so if you see this, it shows dev bought. So basically, obviously to create the live stream, we had to buy. So we bought this on launch, and we'll gradually every now and then do buybacks, right? So we've officially done the first buyback. This was at the end of the last stream. As you can see here, people were taking profits. People will crypto. Actually, you guys cannot see me. Let me do this here. People will crypto, right? Only in crypto. But yeah, let's go through and just answer some questions, do some Q&A. All right, first question. When a Tokenmetrics investor is going to get updates? It's been 4 years, I'm losing hope. Pretty sure that the money is good, it's gone. We've been sending out annual updates to all equity investors. If for some reason you're not on the email list, just reach out to support@tokenmetrics.com. But we've been sending out updates annually. Equity investors got the airdrop for TMAI. So just reach out. Sometimes people just unsubscribe to emails, to marketing emails, which actually takes them off the investor email list, but we've been giving out updates every single year. So just email support@tokenmetrics.com. We have to talk to your tech folks. Yeah, we're definitely trying to make some updates here and there. It's a work in progress, one-man show at the moment, but I think the software we have now is pretty cool. I recommend you create a community on X. We already have a community on X, actually. Now, I have to speak with our marketing team on how it's handled, but if you go to the Tokenmetrics Twitter, which is Tokenmetrics Inc., just search Tokenmetrics Inc., then click on communities and join. I think you have to put a request to join. All right, so let's see here. First question, when do you think the bear market will start? Very good question, very good question. Let's kick things off first with a look at the state of the market using the Tokenmetrics AI market indicator. To access this, just go to tokenmetrics.com, go to analytics market, but I think this is probably the best place to really understand where the market is moving. Let me just shift this a little bit. Right, so if we just look at this real quick, actually, this is not, let me go picture. Right now, the market is bearish. That's just the way things are. It is bearish. So we actually made an update to this. This is now called the Tokenmetrics FOMO Index. And the reason we did this is to really give you more actionable insights into what to do. Now, the last week or so, the market had capitulated. right? There was blood in the streets. We can see here the market was bearish on October 12th, and it went from 4 trillion total crypto market cap. This was basically a few days after Black Friday, after October 10th, where $19 billion in leverage was liquidated from the markets. And we went all the way down to 3.6 trillion. And now it's slowly been going up, but it's not a bull run just yet. Actually, remove the notion of bull runs and bear markets. We're not in a bullish trend yet, right? Because you can be in a bullish trend in a bear market. You can be in a bearish trend in a bull market. I like to use the Bitcoin halving point as a pivot point of pre-halving rally and post-halving rally. And we always know, looking at prior historical data, that in a post-halving rally, the market does go up. This cycle has been different. This cycle has been heavily Bitcoin. It's been a Bitcoin cycle. We've not really had altcoin season yet. There have been alts having sector rotation, making money here and there, but we've not had the traditional altcoin season. And as I mentioned on the last live stream, the concept of altcoin season has changed as we know it going forward. What does that mean? The market is just matured. Everybody's launching a token, so it's tougher for those new tokens to fight over the limited new capital entering the market. So as a result, it's not really going to happen. Now, when do I think the bear market will start? I've gone on the record saying since October 2023 that I think that the bull run will end anywhere from spring to fall 2026. And I think right now we're basically on track to do just that. Obviously, it's a moving target. This is just my hypothesis, not set in stone, not financial advice. If the market changes, we'll roll with the tides. But for that to happen, the market has to become more bullish. And right now, we're not there yet. Right now, if anything, the market's saying be on the sidelines. Maybe you accumulate, but only for those assets that are stores of value. Those stores of value, I would say, would be Bitcoin, ETH, Solana, and maybe 2 other tokens, which I think will be around for a while, just based on them being purely revenue-driven, Hyperliquid, and Pump.Fun, where we're now streaming, right? Those, I think, are fine to accumulate, not financial advice. Everything else is purely speculative, right? So if you already have those, you can add those on the dip. And then if you want to trade in this market, although it's bearish, because this is a bearish market, you can. A platform allows you to do just that. But with this strategy, you have to be a sniper. You have to find trades to snipe. And the trades that are worthy of sniping at the moment, I mean, the biggest runner in the last month or so has been Zcash. Zcash has just been on fire. If we come here to token metrics, pulling up Zcash, let me switch over to the signals chart. This bullish signal on October 3rd at $42, it is now at $643. I mean, I can't lie. We were in a trade on Zcash, but we didn't hold. When Black Friday happened, we basically got out. We were basically scared. Somebody's calling me on Telegram. I don't know why they're calling me on Telegram. Okay, apologies about that. Okay, yeah, it's done over a 10x. It's done a 17, almost 18x in 6 months. That is crazy, right? How high can Zcash go? Zcash is basically a fork of Bitcoin, and they added privacy to it. Right? That's my understanding of it from way back when. It's an old school project, but it's officially now cracked the top 20 market cap. Right? That is wild. It's cracked the top 10 market cap. I'm sorry, top 20 market cap. And you have a lot of institutional capital backing it. I believe they announced the Zcash Trust by, I think, Grayscale. And you have all these people from Mert, on who's actually in the Sol ecosystem, to Naval, and all these basically smart money backing it behind the scenes. So what do they know that we don't know? Right? But anyway, they've been pumping this to oblivion. I just wish we held this through this bearish trend. That's why sometimes you have to not look at the market as just a complete bear market or bull market, right? Because although we are technically in a bearish market, there have been outliers like Zcash, which is just completely going bananas. But anyway, that's kind of the perspective. So back to your question, when do I think the bear market will end? My hypothesis is as early as spring 2026, as late as fall 2026. But obviously, we react to the data and the market. Nothing is set in stone, and you have to kind of just trade the market. So that's the way I would play it. But let me know what you guys think. When do you guys think the bear market will end? Post down below. All right, let's see here. Let's find some other questions here. Bro, Ian, what do you think of Peak and Yom? I don't know what Yom is, but Peak We still love peak deep in layer one project, but as I've mentioned, this cycle fundamentals honestly do not matter because the market is just so mature. It's been Bitcoin taking all the liquidity. The little liquidity there has been going to narratives, big trends. So whether it's X402, whether it's privacy with Zcash and Railgun, whether it's AI, and we have yet to hit the deep in narrative. I think that moment will happen. I think it will happen probably whenever the Optimus Prime robots come out with Tesla. When the whole world is focused on that, I think crypto will kind of just follow along. So for now, they're just building. You have to kind of just wait. I know it sucks. It takes a long time, but that's really the only approach, right? Either you trade it or you just kind of sit tight and wait. But it will take a long time. I'm not here to blow smoke. All right. Do you still have interest in Integral? Actually, no. I don't even know. That was like more than a cycle ago, almost 2 cycles ago. Back then, it was a DEX on Ethereum, if I recall. They were looking to basically be a better Uniswap, and they did not do that. So I made an investment into it. I don't know if it just basically got written off or whatever. The team kind of just quit, but I don't know if I don't think I even had a chance to sell that one, unfortunately. Next question here. Shutdown is over. Liquidity can be back, right? If the shutdown is officially over, I think that's possible. I think it's possible that, let's see here. I think I heard about it on X. Actually, maybe I'll just find it later. But the way to kind of my perspective entering the week, obviously the macro heavily drives crypto. This is something that never happened really before in the past. Right now, just a tweet from Trump can crush the whole markets 20 to 40%, especially in altcoins. So people are kind of trigger happy. Hence why people are trading this market, because the market has so much leverage. You have basically the president that's just active on social media and is kind of just playing this trade war with other nation states, basically China. So if I mentioned this on the last live stream, if they can resolve the trade war, if they can, Trump wants to remove Jerome Powell from being the head of the Fed, if he can be removed and he can put in somebody he likes, he's basically trying to create what I think is going to be the biggest financial bull run, right? Before things kind of collapse, because that just kind of happens with every financial empire. But it seems like things are getting ready for that to happen, right? And I think if that happens, I think there'll be kind of like one last hurrah, especially in Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin has to lead the way as the biggest cryptocurrency out there. So basically, Trump gets everything he's been working for finalized. There's a trade deal with China. Jerome Powell basically does whatever he wants with interest rates, or he puts in somebody else. What was the thing we said? The shutdown is over. I heard that taxpayers in the US will be getting the biggest tax refund in a while. Next year, I think as much as $2,000 or more. So it seems like everything financially is being done behind the scenes to create this super bullish trend, which I think will happen. Although it's unfortunate, people who are not investing or trading are basically on the outside looking in. Right? I kind of talked about this on the last live stream with basically rat utopia, with the production of the elite class. People on the outsides who have been marginalized are now basically revolting. That's why you see Mamdani becoming mayor of New York. First time having a communist or socialist mayor. So it's pretty wild. All right, let's see here. Your thoughts about Chainlink as a multi-cycle token, please. Chainlink, I mean, we like Chainlink. Chainlink has done it's done all right. Let's take a look at Chainlink. Since we looked at Zcash. Now, Chainlink, they've been building. As an early investor in Chainlink, I was part of their private sale prior to launching. Unfortunately, I didn't hold. Took maybe like a 10x and sold in the bear market, and the rest is history. The Link Marines just built an incredible marketing team, a marketing community. For those of you who are not around, the Link Marines basically are like what Hyperliquid is right now. Like the community in Hyperliquid, if you go on X, every single post says Hyperliquid. It's like there's just this energy that's in the air amongst their community. Well, the Link Marines were the same thing. It began on 4chan, it went on X, and they literally helped their marketing and the project just do well. So if we take a look at it now, I mean, just like with every altcoin, it crashed. Well, not crashed, but it's been bearish, right? Since September 24th, from $21, now at about $16. Chainlink is gonna stay around for a while. Now, I don't know if they announced a digital asset treasury vehicle for Chainlink, but I do believe it's going to be a multi-cycle token. It's going to be around for a while, meaning that I think it's going to be, it's been in the top 20 for a while. Worst case, maybe it falls to top 50 next cycle as we have new tokens enter the market, but I don't think it's ever going to go away. It's one of the blue chip projects in terms of oracles, in terms of cross-chain integration. Actually, even with TMAI, our token is available on Chainlink for those of you that want to kind of use it. So it's definitely going to be around for a while, but I don't think the returns will be warranted, but if you like it, you like it. What cryptos will be the first to pump when the bull is in effect? Is it still AI coins? Honestly, I don't think so. I don't think AI coins are going to be the first to pump. If anything, I think you're going to have pure speculation. Let me switch this. I think you're going to have pure speculation, right? What does that look like? Obviously, Bitcoin will pump. Bitcoin's going to be the first to pump. Then from Bitcoin, you have all the other infrastructure projects, the other L1s and blue chip projects. So Ethereum and Sol, right? People will take ETH, go into all the EVM chains, mainly Base. Now, if Coinbase ever launches their Base token, I mean, that's gonna do well. Well, I think the airdrop will do well, right? I don't know if it's gonna do well as a trade, but possibly if they have some kind of way of getting revenue and putting that into buying the token. But I think the fact that BNB has done very well. I mean, it's gone from what, like $1 to like $1,000 or something. But then BNB launched at about $20 million valuation. I recall the date, this was like fall 2027. I did not invest in their ICO. The ICO was actually pretty quiet. I think it was mainly big in Asia. But they launched, and then out of the gate, they just became one of the top exchanges very quickly. But if you study the history, it kind of makes sense. CZ, I believe, used to be CTO or head of engineering, basically some technical executive at OKX. And he took all his experience, also used to work for Bloomberg as an engineer, took all that experience and built his own crypto exchange. And it became the most popular crypto exchange based on liquidity. They were launching lots of big ICOs. So if Coinbase is trying to follow that same model, they're trying to become the everything exchange, not even exchange platform, right? They've bought Echo to kind of create their own launchpad. So if they launch a token, because they've gone on the record saying they'll launch a token, I think that could do pretty well. Let me just make this full screen. Just go with this. Right, so I think that will do pretty well. Outside of that, Hyperliquid I think will do pretty well too. Obviously, they're making about 100 million a month in on-chain revenues. They use 97% of that. So 97 million is being used to buy back the token. So obviously numbers go up. That's why it's done pretty well. I think it will continue to do well. Pump.fund, same thing. They're making about 40 million in a month in on-chain revenue. They're using that to incentivize creators. So I think obviously they have money to make the token go up. Outside of that, I think it kind of depends on the big narrative that's happening in the market. So you have to kind of just see what the market is doing. Okay, let's go to Pump and see what the chat is saying. What is the plan here on the Pump.fund token? Well, there isn't. The plan is to just take a portion of whatever creator rewards we're earning and just use that to buy back the token. But really, our plan was just to, because we've been streaming for a while, since way back when. Obviously with Pump, with us being very bullish on Pump and this ecosystem, I mean, they are making 40 million on-chain. And if they're taking that and putting that back into their ecosystem, we definitely want to add that as an additional channel for us to stream our live stream too. So we launched the stream on there. It was kind of also an experiment. But that's really it. We will definitely be engaging. The live chat on there is for all the token holders. And that's pretty much it. If you guys have any ideas on what you guys want us to do on Pump.fund, let us know. We're open to everything. This is a community effort. Everybody wants a community. Yeah, absolutely. I think the stream is going better now that we switched to this new platform, which is actually the platform we used back in the day, back in 2021. All right, let's see here. Hearing about so many old school projects here. I'm a big fan of yours and first time got my question answered in real time. Very cool. Awesome. Appreciate it, Peace Seeker. Buy and hold TM Live. Hey, we're in the building. We're officially streaming everywhere. We added Kitch. This is the first time we're streaming on Kitch. I'm sorry, not Kitch, Kick. But if anybody's on there, check us out there as well. Let us know if there's any other platform we're missing. Also, the first time we're streaming on Telegram, which we've never done before. Didn't even know Telegram was kind of doing a lot of streams. So that's pretty cool. When alt season, in your opinion, brother? When Bitcoin begins going up and the market indicator goes back to being bullish, that's when altcoin season is going to be. But it's not going to be altcoin season. right? Because altcoin season last cycle, almost every altcoin was going up. I mean, every altcoin season before, every token has gone up. That will not be the case this cycle. It's going to be different. There are too many tokens fighting over too few capital, right? So the concept of altcoin season for everybody is not going to go up. It's going to be altcoin season in a few tokens. I mentioned on the prior stream, if you go to equities, 3% of the S&P 500 is responsible for pretty much 100% of the returns. So that means 15 stocks have delivered all the returns of the S&P 500, which are 500 stocks. So everything else has been a wash. In crypto, times that by 100, right? So if anything, I think it won't be 3%. It'll be, if anything, 0.3% of tokens will deliver the returns and the gains this cycle. But that's just the name of the game. That's why we're launching our on-chain tokenized AI indices that help you basically just buy the whole market, right? Rather than trying to find a needle in a haystack, because we just see where the market is going. It's getting more mature, right? So obviously we have our platform where you can go there and try to find those sniper trades. But even with those, that's still tough. So we plan to launch initially with the TM100 index, which will buy the top 100 market cap tokens, basically. And then we'll add the second index, which I think will be the most widely requested index, at least based on early interviews with customers, the Tokenmetrics Mindshare Index, which basically goes and takes the top tokens that are trending every single week using our AI and different metrics and buys those. And then every single week, it rotates to the next trend, right? Because literally in crypto, we are trend surfing because a trend comes and goes, sometimes in the blink of an eye, sometimes in a week, sometimes in a month, right? And you don't want to be left back holding, as we say in crypto, right? You want to obviously hold what's going up, take profits, but if the trend ends, doesn't matter about the fundamentals, you have to get off that trend, right? Like X42 came and went for less than a week, and that was like a few weeks ago. Right now we have this privacy trend that's doing pretty well actually, right? If we come back here, we have the privacy trend. For example, with Zcash has just gone bananas. You have a lot of institutional capital backing Zcash. Then the other one was actually Railgun. We also had a trade on this as well, but we had weak hands, to be honest, because when the market got very, very shaky, we chose to get out, and they have just been pure outliers. And basically, we got in once the Vitalik and Ethereum Foundation basically announced that they'll be integrating Railgun into whatever they're building. And it's down to 4x in 6 months. But really, if you just look at the charts here, right? Yeah, so basically, the low was about 75 cents. It went to $5.51. It came back crashing, right? If we go to October 12th, I'm sorry, Black Friday was October 10th, right? So just crashed here, shook out a lot of people, ourselves included. Then it kind of was flat, and now it's bounced back, right? But basically, there's this narrative of privacy tokens and coins that's kind of happening right now. And the other big narrative we're seeing, I would say, neobanks. The ones I mentioned, Tuyo, I sent some stablecoins I have, and I began testing it out to earn yield. I like it so far. I also like, the other one was Fluid Key, I believe. I'm testing them out. That's kind of a new narrative. I think Tuyo is doing an airdrop, some kind of airdrop rewards program. So keep an eye out on that. But that's basically it. All right, let's go back. Do you think MetaMask airdrop is worth to farm? Not really, honestly. I think, first of all, MetaMask has a lot of users, right? Since the history of MetaMask, right? I mean, just myself, I have so many MetaMask wallets at this point that it's hard to keep track. But I don't really use MetaMask anymore. If anything, I prefer Robbie wallet. I think that's the default winner and the best wallet out there for anybody on the EVM chain. If it's not Robbie, I also use Phantom as well. That's a pretty good wallet for newbies. It's one I highly recommend for anybody who's brand new in crypto. It gives you both Bitcoin, ETH, and Sol, and it's easy. You can use your facial ID or Face ID or whatever. And so it's pretty straightforward. It has a great user experience. MetaMask kind of dropped the ball, to be honest. There's so many people that have used MetaMask. I don't even know how they're gonna get the airdrop. If anything, people should not be having to farm the airdrop now. Right? I've been using MetaMask since 2016 or 2017. Yeah, I think 2016. So if they don't give me an airdrop, I'll be pissed. And I think a lot of people would be pissed. Am I just kind of completely just protest MetaMask going forward. They're kind of doing their airdrop, I think, because other tokens have been doing an airdrop, right? I know Robbie has their program, the points program. So I think eventually they'll do an airdrop. I don't know about Phantom, but we never know, right? But if anything, I'm more inclined to farm Phantom and Robbie over MetaMask. But hey, don't stop. If you like it, you like it. Some people here are just gonna have to put somebody on timeout posting the same thing. TMAI update. The main update is we have our on-chain indices coming. So anybody that's a customer, look out. We'll be beginning onboarding users again. Right now, we have a cap on how much money you can put into the index because we want to have everything kind of operate smoothly. We take some feedback, make some changes. So we've made a few tweaks. But yeah, this is going to be the final kind of big pivot for token metrics. From talking to our token holders, our customers, and community. It's what people have been asking for, to basically actively trade crypto passively, right, with an AI-driven index. So I mentioned the TM100 will be the first index. The next index will be the TM Mindshare Index, which is narrative-driven, basically riding the trend. A portion of fees generated by the index will be put back to buy TMAI, which I think will be pretty cool. So kind of taking the pumped out fund and the hyperliquid model. This is going to be the biggest driver for revenue, and I think just kind of value accrual for token holders in TMAI. And speaking of TMAI, we now have this new little overlay our team made. One, you can scan the QR code, which I believe takes you straight to Token Metrics, where you can sign up. And then two, why is this logo here twice? Two, Token Metrics or TMAI, the token is available on Gate, Bitpanda, and Uniswap. It's also on Aerodrome as well. Also on Balancer, although Balancer got hacked. I think the hack was over $100 million. So be careful out there. In crypto, there's no free lunch in crypto, right? Balancer is a great exchange. It's been around for a while. It's a DEX. Basically kind of innovated with Balancer liquidity pools that will allow you to kind of launch a token with different splits. So it didn't have to be 50-50. It could be 95-5 or 80-20, which was pretty cool for projects to kind of bootstrap liquidity. But yeah, that hack was pretty wild. Still getting used to all these different screens here. And it's not showing the full screen. Okay, let me just read the comment. Ian's back in action. Glad to see you online. He just explained his plan. His plan is to stream token insights and token metrics on all platforms. My recommendation would be register both TMAI and TM Live on CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko. TMAI is already on CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko. TM Live, I believe our team is working on it. You guys said to submit it to Dex Screener, so that's been done. CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, they're doing that as well, but I don't think that's live yet. But I mean, TM Live is just a live stream token. Like it's just basically our page where we live stream token metrics. Yep.
We just landed on the moon in a Lambo.
Yeah, Moon Lambo. For those who know, back in the day. All right, let's see. It looks like those are all the Q&A on the stream. Let me check pump.fun and see what questions we have here from token holders. GM, Base App Ecosystem. Yeah, I mean, Base, we're bullish on Base. Obviously, TMAI is built on Base, but actually, don't tell anybody. But we're looking to possibly, we're leaning heavily towards migrating our on-chain indices to Hyperliquid, because Hyperliquid has just done an incredible job with liquidity, right? Because it has been pretty wild and interesting and great, just kind of building everything out on Base. So our on-chain indices basically allow you to buy tokens across 7 different chains. So we take the top 100 tokens based on market cap across 7 chains, 6 EVM chains, which are Base, Polygon, Avalanche, Binance Smart Chain, and Ethereum. And Arbitrum is the 6th one. And then Solana. So we take the top 100 market cap tokens across those chains, and every single week we buy them. Now, obviously, it's weighted based on market cap. Actually, it's square root of market cap. So there's some exposure to altcoins, but it's basically going to be Bitcoin, ETH, Sol, and all the way down. But the great thing is it's non-custodial. That was something we wanted to make sure we built. But to do that, it's more complex. And then this is why crypto is so fascinating. The market moves so fast that within a year now, you have a new platform like Hyperliquid that has billions of dollars in liquidity. Let me actually pull up Hyperliquid. Let's actually go to Let's go to CoinGecko and just show you the liquidity on these exchanges. Yeah, so we'll go to PripDexit just to the side. So there's 8.4 billion in open interest on Hyperliquid. Open interest is basically the amount of capital for both long and shorts on Hyperliquid. It's a better metric to use versus trading volume. Because if you look at trading volume, it actually shows Esther, which is CZ and Binance's exchange, has more trading volume, and so does Lighter. But if you look at open interest, it's actually a little misleading, right? So open interest, I think, is the better metric to use, because if you look purely just at trading volume, you can have kind of all these crypto shenanigans of trading bots and people trying to kind of game with fake volume and all that. So I would just basically ignore that. Now, if we compare the open interest on actual derivatives, right? Like Binance is number one with 30.6 million open interest. Bybit is 16.4 open interest, then Gate, and so on. But in general, it's actually a lot easier and cleaner. So that's why our team is exploring creating an index of the Team 100 and all these other indices using Hyperliquid. It would have no leverage. It would just be 1x, basically just not spot, but just 1x leverage. But it makes everything a lot cleaner without having to have all the cross-chain custody challenges happening. So stay tuned on that. It's something we're kind of testing in tandem with the on-chain indices we have. Because if the future goes completely derivative-based, it's going to be kind of pretty wild, I think. And predictive markets will siphon what's left. Yeah, prediction markets is the next evolution of financial markets and speculation. I talked about how basically we're kind of entering this era of financial nihilism. And this is why you're seeing like Mamdani winning in New York as a socialist, because people on the outside looking in, right, when they have given up on the system and they have no hope, they have no opportunity, right? They basically are just relegated to either, right, risking it all because they believe money, or they have no chance of making money, right? Looking at past generations of having issues and trouble finding jobs, like even people in the Ivy League, I believe 40% of Ivy League grads are jobless. So when you have that happening, when you have people not having the ability to be able to afford buying a home, right? They just think everything is just fugazi. It's all just a casino, right? Not just a crypto casino, but the entire financial system is a casino. And that's why you get financial nihilism. And the evolution of that initially is derivatives, perp dexes, and now prediction markets, where you can bet on anything. Not just crypto. You can bet on the stock market. You can bet on sports. You can bet on mentions on TV or the internet. You can literally bet on everything. So it's almost kind of like the Pico top in terms of, because obviously all this is leverage. And eventually leverage gets flushed out, right? You kind of have to reset eventually. And I think that's when you have the financial system collapse. Right? It happens all the time, right? The market moves in cycles, and eventually there has to be a recession, something even probably bigger than a recession. But obviously, we're not here to kind of wait for all that. We're here to just kind of go with the market where it's going, right? And right now, prediction markets are a big thing in crypto. You have Kalshi, which is primarily sports driven, and Polymarket, which is primarily crypto driven. Polymarket is about to enter the US. Kalshi is already in the US. Heavily regulated. That was kind of like their edge. Limitless is basically a prediction market on base. So yeah, definitely keep an eye out on these. Polymarket has announced that they'll be issuing a token. I think if they issue a token, it's going to be top 10 token by far. I think that and the base token. So when I say like altcoin season is going to be crazy and the market cap will go up, not necessarily your token, right? If Coinbase launches a token, it's probably going to be worth 50 to 100 billion market cap and FTV or more, right? Because that's what Binance is worth. And it's probably going to double its entire valuation, right? Because Coinbase was about 80 to 100 billion market cap, the stock. They can double their market cap just by launching a token. I think it was kind of a no-brainer that they would do it, especially now that we have friendlier regulation in the US. Okay, all right. Let's take one more question, then we'll wrap things up. I have to go to dinner. And I'm not really seeing. I think we're pretty much almost out of questions. Yeah, I think we'll wrap things up here. Hope you're all well. Good stream. I think we went for what, about an hour, almost an hour. Yeah, we'll keep on doing more of these streams. Now we're adding more different platforms. So we are on 5 platforms right now: on X, on YouTube, on Kick, on Telegram, on Pump.fun. Yeah, let's keep it going. And as usual,
We just landed on the moon and the Lambo.
the moon is not the limit to the moon and beyond. Thank you, everybody. And we'll see you soon, maybe in a day or two. Take care.